Keep your radio dial right here. You're locked into the hottest news station on the planet. Hot 702.5 in FM sound. Blazing today's hip-hop, R&B, and pop music. Keeping your radio on fire. Bringing you the hottest, realest, riskiest talk shows live 24/7. Live on hot7025fm.com.
What's going on, everybody? It's your main man, 360, the poet from the Morning Wood, and I'm here to talk to you about the Sci-Fi Center. It's your Vegas home for science fiction, horror, and fantasy. From comic books, toys, and posters to movie screenings and live events, they've got you covered. Located at 900 Caron Avenue, Suite B209, give them a call, 702-900-4335, or reach them at thescificenter.com.
Hi. Hey.
What's up? All your favorite artists.
Check it out. Say my name. DJ Khaled. This is Mila J. Bruno Mars.
On hot7025fm.com.
Hey y'all, it's your girl Cheryl Underwood, and you're tuned into the hottest news station on the planet, Hot 702.5.
Tune in now on hot7025fm.com.
Yeah. Jones. Hey, Greg Deville was at it, man. Hey, if you want the real, holla at Greg Deville. He'll tell you how to do it. Now get to it. If you want the real, listen to Greg Deville. He'll tell you how to do it. Now get to it. I'm talking real estate, building wealth, making money for your family and yourself. Now tune in. We here to help. Now tune in. We here to help. You wanna be a broker? You wanna be broke? You wanna be the joker? You wanna be the joker? You gotta bring more to the table than your hope, dreams, and wishing. I can feed you fish, or I can take you out fishing. I can show you the vision, addition and division, mathematic equation. Make the money flip like an acrobatic, amazing. Greg Deville help you build the foundation. I'm saying, if you want the real, holla at Greg Deville. He'll tell you how to do it. Now get to it. If you want the real, listen to Greg Deville. He'll tell you how to do it. Now get to it. I'm talking real estate, building wealth, making money for your family and yourself. Now tune in. We here to help. Now tune in. We here to help.
All right. Las Vegas. It is Wednesday, 12 noon. We are excited to be back with you talking about wealth building in Las Vegas or wherever you are. This works everywhere. We're excited to talk about building wealth in our community. And one of the ways we want to talk about building wealth, although there are tons of ways, right? One of the ways we want to talk about, because August is business month, right? It is the month for business, right? It is networking. It's very important that we get together. So we want to talk about some networking today. We want to talk about opportunities to meet others, not necessarily in the same line of work, but somebody that does something that you may need a service with, right? Like I recently met, as a real estate broker, I use inspectors. I wanted an inspector. I said, I want a black inspector. If I can find and give my money to the brother, I'd love to find one. And guess what? I went to the network, found an inspector, was able to use him the next week. Isn't that great? See, the networking is so important. You got to see it as a valuable tool in your arsenal. And so I have none other than my friend. I have none other than the great Devin Moore with us this morning or this afternoon. Good afternoon, Dev, man. How you doing?
I'm doing fantastic, brother. How are you today?
Man, I feel excited, man. I'm excited. It's great to have you with me, man. I wrote a few things and, man, it just kept going on. I say, Devin is a promoter, a producer, business owner, marketing exec, influencer, real estate investor, marketing guru. I said, this brother is all around, man, well-groomed. Welcome to the show, man. Welcome to the Greg Deville Wealth Building Show on this beautiful Wednesday, man.
Well, I appreciate you having me, of course. Shout out to you and the platform that you on, hot702.5fm.com. It's a pleasure, man. I mean, I'm working in the spirit of Greg Deville with working on building wealth, brother. And, it's not easy out there, but for those who stay committed and stay passionate and focused with the great network, the path is a lot better to travel down.
Absolutely. Absolutely, man. So you started this network, man, that I've been so glad to be a part of. And that's that multiplication network on every Wednesday from 4 to 7. What inspired you to go with that? Give us some information how that came about.
Well, Greg, being a native of Vegas, that I'm very, very proud of, even though normally when I tell people I'm born and raised in Vegas, they frown their face up. But truthfully, we have done so many networking events in the city to where I stopped doing networking events for a while. And then I was on my social media scrolling on Instagram, and something came up, and I've shared this many times, but a post came up and it talked about 2 fish and 5 loaves of bread fed 5,000 men, not including women and children.
Right, right.
And I said, man, that's some fascinating math.
Yeah.
And that is what inspired me to jump back in and say, we need a ecosystem in our community, especially for our Black community, that we can practice multiplication much more than we practice simple math with addition. And so I created what was called now affectionately the Multiplication Network, with the idea of your network that we often say equals your net worth. But in between that is the multiplication side of it. How do we multiply our relationships into opportunities, into an ecosystem, into contracts, into clients, into customers?
Yeah. And, I, as a business owner, I was adding up the years, since I was about 11 or 12, my dad had me as a handyman. I was doing little repairs. I used to have a lawnmower, and I would cut my neighbors' yards. And, I was always a hustler. I was always doing some kind of work, washing cars. And my dad was a handyman, so I knew how to fix stuff at an early age, right? At least I thought I knew. I learned a lot more as I progressed, but I messed some stuff up. I shocked myself a couple times thinking, so I learned electrical wasn't as so easy as I thought it would be. So kind of learned my lesson on that. But I'll tell you, one of the greatest, so the number of years I added is like 48 years as an entrepreneur for me. With all of this time, working for myself, and started as a young man. I'm 60 years old. People don't believe I'm 60, but I'm 60 years old, and I'm grateful to God to be here because I OD'd 3 times in my life. I was a addict, So this November I'll be celebrating 25 years of sobriety, man, and I am so, man. It's been awesome, man. Since I left, what Ike tell Tina, I left them narcotics alone. Now, Anime, I done got it together, Anime. Now, come on home now. Come on, Greg, them kids need you.
That's right. Yeah, yeah.
So
Congratulations, together, man. That's huge,
man. And so I moved to Vegas 24 years ago, and here we are, man. And so, but one of the most valuable things is what you started, and you so passionately done well with. Excuse me, is this network. And that's how I've grown to be the largest Black real estate brokerage is because of the network. The network. And so when you tell me you started that, and I think I was probably the first when you started it there at when you started at Mariposa with it. I knew I was at the first and the second and third. And so I'm glad you did. And there are many of us who want to encourage you to say, you know what, man, you started something great. And I know sometimes you pass the baton, which is normal, right? Sometimes you're a creative, you're a starter, right? You're the fire starter. And then somebody comes behind and just kind of carries the mantle. You start the race, somebody comes in second position, carries the mantle and try to go higher with it, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, ultimately, that's what you want to see is
absolutely
take it farther than what I could, right? I've gone as far as I can. And that's what we see even in some politics and some of the other arenas in the Rockefeller family. They still rich today because they've passed the baton, right? And so I think it's valuable, man, what you've done. Yeah.
No, I appreciate it, man. And being a native, traveling around the country, even around the world for that matter, which I'm not as big of a traveler as I'd like to be. But what I've noticed is, and historically, we've always had some level of an ecosystem as a community.
Yeah.
In Vegas, ours has been unique as it's came, as it's went, as it's been up and it's been down. And so I said, how dare I not contribute to the infrastructure because it's so valuable. And the more I've grown and, read books and consumed literature and podcasts and everything goes back to relationships. And we cannot spend enough time investing in relationships that it will not bring a return. It is a guarantee that the right relationships will bring a return that will far exceed what you put into it. And so my mind has always said, keep building that ecosystem in our city, whether it's one person, 5 people, 50 or 500.
Right. Absolutely.
If I keep doing the work, the return will happen. And we have had, 10 people there before, but we've also had 150 Black folks that have showed up. We've had one of our biggest success stories is Yo Nuts, Mr. Rob Chandler, who's a brother who moved here from Chicago about 15, 20 years ago. Yeah. He ended up buying into a franchise called Yo Nuts. And he went from owning one location when we started the multiplication network. And because a lot of key relationships, he now is a state owner of the franchise with 4 locations. Okay. In addition to that, he is the first Black food vendor in the UNLV Student Union. Oh, wow. Right. Okay. Good stuff. Yeah, and that's, he did the work. We also helped with relationships to put around him. He went from a all white professional team to 80% now that's Black as a result of the multiplication network. And so we are having some tremendous success stories, business owners, entrepreneurs, professionals, key influencers in our city. We're bringing in some heavyweights, even like yourself. I mean, to me, look, you're a heavyweight in the real estate game, and you have taught and networked with people. And so it is really growing. And I look forward to talking about it in detail.
Yes, absolutely. The network, the multiplication, I like to say multiply your network. And that's what I've been selling to people, right? I said, man, you want to multiply your network? Let's come together. I got some friends coming out. I said, man, I want to expose your business to another arena of clientele, right? I think we used to, one of the things I mentioned earlier that I wanted to kind of allude to is about being a secret agent. Too many times people are secretive about what they do. Like they expect family to tell about your business. They expect friends, but you're going to be your best marketing piece. You really are, because nobody can tell your story and what you do exactly. I just know he hangs signs. He's a sign man. But when I have Phil come tonight, and let's talk about hanging signs. Phil can tell you, hey, man, I get up in the bucket truck and I hang you I always like to call him the man that put your name in lights.
Yeah, nice.
Put your name in lights, brother. And that's phenomenal. So I said, look, man, he went out, bought a boat. So he's been out boating with us. I said, man, you need to be here Wednesday because there's somebody you need to make contact with. And I think if we can get this out, how valuable it is to make the contact. Somebody said, well, I'm not dressed for the part. You know, Marvin, the AC guy, right?
Vegas Heat.
Vegas Heat. I brought Marvin over, introduced you guys. And guess what? Marvin is still there. Marvin is still moving around. I recommend people that I've used, not people that I just heard of, people that I've used. Remember, I met the Black inspector at the network. I needed an inspector because I had one that unfortunately passed away. And RIP to Greg, man, the inspector. He was a great guy, man. And unfortunate situation happened there last year for him. But I wanted to get a Black inspector. And so I met him, guess where? At the Multiplication Network. And so I want to continue to push the need to get out. And what would you say to somebody to tell them right now, if they're listening right now, and they are, what would you give them for the push to come out? What would you give them?
So, one of the things that I always reflect on is if I keep doing what I've always done, I can only expect what I've already got. Until we realize that, and I had to look, Greg, on our Saturday brunch at Mariposa, we see about 400 people on average, sometimes more. 85 to 90% of those are all tourists. People that we've never met before. These are all brand new people to our business that have came and spent money freely Didn't ask for discounts. Didn't say how much is it to get in. All they said is, give me a reservation. I'm coming in to experience your business, and I want to spend money. Not depending on family members, not depending on those who I went to school with, even though I do expect a certain level of support from them, but I'm not going to put my business on the ledge for that. And so it is true that strangers will support your business more than those who you have known your whole life.
Yeah.
And so while you're sitting at home, and I guarantee you, you're not making enough revenue in your business. I guarantee you need more. The multiplication network comes with people who are of the same mindset to say, I'm looking to support you as I hope you're looking to support me. I want to put money into your business, and I hope you would do the same if you have a need for my product, my service, whatever it is that I offer. Sitting home will get none of that to happen. You know, there's a term that we like to talk about, work. See, it's interesting because most of us spend most time working in our business.
Yeah. Yeah.
We don't spend enough time working on our business. And because our head is down working so much in our business, some of the key elements to really exponential growth, scaling your business, you know, a new client that may be 10x times what you already had, that's outside of what you already have within your customer or client base. It's the new people that will open doors unseen. And I'm constantly, even with all that I do in the city, man, I'm going to a networking event in 2 weeks in LA. I know we talked about LA. I'm heading there in 2 weeks. I was just invited to one. There's one in Phoenix that I'm going to be attending. And then I'm going to one down in Dallas in October. I'm looking to build far beyond the Vegas city limits, Nevada as a state, even the West Coast, because I know that we're a national economy, a global economy. I want to be able to attract business from all over. And I can't do that by just sitting in the house. Granted, I'm on social media every day. I have over 200 Instagram accounts, over 100 Facebook business pages. I'm on it. That's still not enough. I have to be able to meet people, shake hands, look them in the eyes, hear their voice, they hear my voice, and we walk, lock arms, and do business together. It's not enough just to scroll and like. That's a good start. That's a good start. I'm never going to them on that because social media is crucial to business. However, it's not enough. In the great wisdom of the philosopher Greg Deville, I want to be everywhere all the time.
Listen, what I realized about selling a house is I already sold them a house. I need to find somebody new to sell a house. I need to find new clientele all the time. I can't sell you a house because you just signed a 30-year on that deal. So it behooves me to get out of my seat to do nothing. And guess what? Do something, right?
Do something.
Make a move. Find that next client. In my business, I need 2 to 3 closings every month just to keep my doors going. Right. So how am I going to find them? How, as somebody who's needing outsourced business to come into your doors? I told my barber, he was a new barber that started at his shop. And I said, well, how you plan to get business? He said, well, I'm just waiting on walk-ins. I said, you got to go out there and get it. Even if you got to offer a free half off on your cut to show you my skills. And once my skills get me in the door, guess what? They're gonna be, man, your fade is tight. Well, you know, guess what? Now you got more business than you can handle. I started here as a handyman, right? But I started at Home Depot. Would you see the Latinos hanging in front of Home Depot? I started that. I was that cat that was hanging in front of Home Depot, giving out business cards saying, hey, I'm a handyman. Can I put that water heater in for you? They said, how much you charge? Give me $120. Easy money. They was like, the last guy told me $550, $600. I said, look, I just need to build some business. That's all. I mean, you know, it take me a couple of hours maybe. And they, you know, guess what? Got more business than I can handle. I had to close the handyman shop down because because now I'm doing real estate. I'm doing flip. So I can't do the handyman. But at the end of the day, my thought for people is that you get out and go get it. Do you want it? Well, how bad do you want it? Then
how bad do you want it?
Yeah,
but Greg, look at something that you did though. This is really, really important.
Yeah.
You understood I need to undercut the market in order to get the customer or the client to build demand before I raise my price.
Yeah,
Too
exactly.
often, the culture of know your worth and add a tax and, all this cute stuff sounds good until you get no business because you outpriced the marketplace. You have to know where the marketplace is, which there's an element to business that says know your competitors.
Yes.
If you're just going out willy-nilly saying, I'm worth $1,000 to install this water heater, what would they have said? Oh no, we okay. We'll go back over here and get them for $600. You understood. I need the business, so I can offer you a lesser price. But I probably will have you for a lifetime. And as a client, you're going to refer people to me, and the new ones that get referred, I'm going to raise my price a little bit. So the 125, I'm going to 175 for all the new ones. And then the next wave that come, I'm going up to 250. But it's because I have enough demand, right? Supply and demand. If I have enough demand, I can then raise my price. If I don't have the demand, what good is it going to do with me sitting with an empty business and a bunch of skills?
Right. The other thing I tell people, and here's another part. So I started a mobile detail business, another business venture. I had this white van. I put my generator and my compressor and my vacuum and a water tank. I bought a trailer, and it was a water tank on the trailer, and I didn't have a need for it, but it came with the trailer. And so one day work got a little slow. I said, you know what? I'm gonna crank up this. I got a pressure washer. And I'm gonna crank up this, and I got me another hustle. And guess how I started that? So I realized that the choir rehearsal was gonna be there at least an hour and a half, and if the spirit moved, they might be there for 2 hours. And so while they was in choir rehearsal, guess what? I could bust about 3 or 4 cars in the parking lot. And then I could go to the beauty shops between Tuesdays and Thursdays, because the beauty shop, they're going to be in the beauty shop at least an hour and a half, right? Getting their hair done. Guess what? I could do their cars while they came in. I go to the barber shop and man, listen, I built that business, brother. Listen. And then I was only charging $25 for the outside. And they said, I said, give me $20, man. I'll knock it out for you. Guess what? Less than 20 minutes, I was done. So I was making, a little no time, quick money. It was
$40-$60 an hour.
Man, I was doing what I do, but I remembered that it was about going to the barbershop, going to the choir rehearsal. You got to get out of your seat or do nothing. You got to do something. It's imperative that those of you that are listening and you want to be in business, you want to fire your boss. I hear right now somebody said, man, I wish I could fire my boss, but you're afraid to step out. So let me say it this way. Don't fire your boss yet. Build your business on the side. My buddy Frank, I saw him today. Frankie D's Barbecue. He worked for Costco for years, but he did barbecue on the side. And guess what? He got so much clientele that he retired from Costco, and he talked to the manager. They let him put his barbecue truck in the parking lot of Costco. Wow. And now he's still getting paid from Costco because he practiced on the side. What his passion was cooking barbecue. And so at the end of the day, whatever that passion is, let's drive that, because one day you'll be able to fire your boss. And guess what? You'll be able to go in and do your own thing and name your price. Now, one of the cautions that I like to tell people is when you start that business, don't go buy a new truck. Maybe get a used truck, right? Because we get in debt, and if the business don't come in, then the first thing to go is that when you hear a beep, 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 you know what that is? That's a repo man coming to get the truck. And if I need the truck to make the money, you know what I'm saying? I mean, at the end of the day, I know this because I've been there, right? I'm telling you from history. But the biggest part of everything about our conversation on today is the networking, man. You know what? And getting on that social media. And I tell people, I have another friend that started a business. I'm always telling her, you gotta like people's stuff. You've got to go, because you mentioned Facebook. You've got to go you got to go give hearts and support what people do and show your concern. Show that it's not just about you building business, that I'm concerned about what you're going through too. Someone lost a loved one recently. I sent a care Now, I didn't know the guy, but I care enough to say, I feel your pain. I lost my father. So I understand how that must be.
I know how it feels.
Yeah, I can relate. But then they see, hey, Greg Deville sent me a care. Now, as busy as people say Greg Deville is, they said, man, I sure appreciate you took time, because I know you're busy, but you took the time. You know who taught me that? Mary House. Mary House told me that. Mary would like everything I did. I'm like, man, how you get to? She said, because I learned to encourage you, young man. She said, I've been watching you a long time, and I've been seeing how you've been moving around in our city. And she said, I do it to encourage you. People with high status, and they come and meet you where you are, and that encourages you. So much like when you like what people do, they say, man, Dev like what I did, man. That's, it's encouraging, man. It might be small to us, but you'd be surprised what an impact you're leaving to others, that you take the time to show your interest. The other thing I like to point out in networking on the social media platform is to go in and get friends that you have common friends with. If you have at least 3 to 5 in common, go request them as a friend. They say, well, I don't know him. You ain't got, how many people I meet that say we friends? Yeah, we friends on Facebook, and I don't know you because I got 5,000 of them. But at the end of the day, guess what? We're friends. And that's valuable to me in that you know what I do, you see what I'm doing, and you're promoting it. So I want to take a moment to thank all the referral business that comes to Greg Deville and Deville Realty Group. I want to take a pause for the cause to thank everybody who is taking a moment to say, Deville, can I give out your number? I say, please do. I give it to 10,000 people a week on 2 different radio shows. You can get my personal phone number, 702-349-0162. That's my direct, 0162 702-349-0162. That's my direct. If you ring it right now, the screen is going to show you calling me. That's my direct. I want to hear from you. Guess what? Because I know how referral business is important and networking is. And that's why I do radio, because it's really my network. Really, that's really what it is for me. Yeah, this is network. It's just doing something different than everybody else. It's just another network for me. Then I'm gonna leave here, and guess what? I'm at 4:00. I'm gonna be at Mariposa, because guess what we're gonna do? We're gonna network some more. We're gonna network some more, and we're gonna keep it going. Now, I had a question that I did want to ask you. I looked up the word networking, and it says the process of exchanging information and ideas among professionals to expand their connection, discover job opportunities, and stay informed in the industry developments. I said the process of exchanging information and ideas among professionals. That's what networking is. That's the definition of networking. So the person who's lacking business right now, I'm gonna need you to get out here. I'm gonna need you to come through, bring some cards, and stop not showing up. Go get the Popple app. The Popple app is that QR code app with your business card. I have it. I'd rather give you a card, because people sometimes you forget where'd you put it, where to find the digital.
Absolutely.
I'd rather give you a card with my face on it, so later on you'll be like, who's this dude? And you see me, say, oh, it was that guy. Right? That's why realtors put their face on the card, so you know who we are later. But to network with other professionals, not necessarily like professionals in the same business. I need to network other professionals of other brands of influence, other professionals. But I did want to ask you this question. The Multiplication Network is inspired your vision to accomplish what exactly? What vision is it that you want to accomplish?
So the vision, in short, is really to develop a Black ecosystem that is sophisticated for today and prepared for tomorrow.
Yeah.
Right. Our economy is changing so fast, with artificial intelligence, with robotics, with automation, with augmented reality, with just the harnessing of technology. Without us having an ecosystem as a group, as an ethnicity or a race, we are going to be left out further than we were in the digital divide.
Wow.
The digital divide was a huge gap for us that we never closed. With this new gap, it is going to leave us so far behind. And one of the things that you'll notice, Greg, is that anytime we look at political campaigns, presidential campaigns, you never really hear the Asian community out front campaigning and, going crazy about who's in office. Yeah. Why? Because they have an ecosystem that regardless of who's in office,
Yeah.
their dollars are going to keep rotating within their infrastructure, within their economy, and they're going to take from the general population with their professionals, bring that income back to their ecosystem, and they're going to be able to, weather whatever the storm is. But if there's a wave, they're going to be in the forefront of it with building wealth. You look at the Indians, you look at Asian Americans, and you look at Middle Eastern, they are killing white Americans with household incomes because they have a strong ecosystem. And so what we're doing at the Multiplication Network, in the micro sense, we're building individual relationships. In the macro sense, we're also building a ecosystem that, one, we're developing and teaching each other how to be stronger, better, more efficient in business, so that our community will want to do business with us, will want to support us without having to say, it's Juneteenth, I'll support you. Or it's Black History Month, I'll support you. No, take the support out, spend money because I'm a Black business owner and my interest is your interest. I'm more likely to hire you, your nephew, your niece, your uncle, cousin, them faster than the broader community. If you go to Chinatown, let's see how many Black folks work in Chinatown.
Probably not gonna happen.
Good luck, right? And so until we realize and understand. So there was a post that a brother put out. He told Atlanta has the most Black millionaires in our country. The most. They attribute it because Atlanta has such a burgeoning, robust business climate that they have so many Black business owners, and the community is supporting their Black businesses. That's an ecosystem that we got to have. I said this, if you remember when we used to do this at Echelon Event Center, Greg?
I do.
I said years ago,
right before we did the comedy show, we have this network, bring your business, let's talk about it. Let's absolutely. I was there.
Okay. So back then I said, I want to make Vegas the Black Atlanta of the West Coast. I think we have the ingredients for it. We're missing a few ingredients. And one of those ingredients is the abundance amount of Black folks that are getting from behind their screens and reemerging in person to meet each other, to realize I don't have to be skeptical of you. I don't have to question. Let's talk. Let's see who you are, who I am. You from Chicago. Hey, I'm from LA. You from, Shreveport. Hey, I'm from Baltimore. We all in the same city and valley together. Let's understand we have common interests. We are the Las Vegas Black community tribe.
There you go.
And we have to make sure that we're building our own system of economics so we can compete. I was speaking to a brother recently, Greg. And I said, the LVCVA showed that prior to maybe like the recent downturn, that Vegas was experiencing, I believe, 132,000 Black people every week coming to Vegas.
Look at this.
132,000 Black people every week coming to Vegas, right? I said, oh my gosh. Before, back when I was at Planet Hollywood as director of marketing, it was about 32,000. I said, out of that 132,000 that's coming every week now, if we quantified it to about $250 only, that's not per day, just only.
Right.
That would be about $28 to $35 million spent in this Vegas economy by Black people every week.
Look at that.
But we're not going after that at all. We're not going after it, right? But if we have a ecosystem, if we have a network, we're talking about, hey, who got transportation? We need a few transportation companies. Hey, who's doing events? Hey, who has the services, the nails, and who got the retail stores? Who got the restaurants and the lounges and the bars and the nightclubs? And can this all be centralized in a given area where it's easy for tourists to come 5, 10 minutes, 15 minutes away to be able to, just like Chinatown is. Matter of fact, they've done so well in their ecosystem, Greg. They're building a second Chinatown.
I heard
right?
about it. Yep.
The Filipino community, they got the Filipino town now on Maryland Parkway.
Yeah.
Right. And so out of the Multiplication Network, we understand the value and importance of building, as our dear brother Shondell Newsom says, real relationships, right?
Right.
Real
Right.
relationships. It
Yeah.
can't just be I'm behind the screen and I remember you when you come up in my feed.
Yeah.
No, I want to
Right.
meet you. I'm going to shake hands with
Exactly.
you. Let's talk. Let's have an appointment. And one of the things we encourage at the Multiplication Network is before you leave,
Yeah.
set 5 appointments with the people that are there that you can meet up with, if not
Yeah.
the same week, the next week. So we're not letting grass grow under our feet. Let's
Right.
be intentional. As my business partner, Brady Wells, says, let's move with a purpose. Let's
That's
not
it.
just be casual out here and collecting
Right.
business cards and stacking
Right.
them up and they got
Right.
dust all on them and we haven't
Right.
called the person yet. And now they forgot where they met you at, and now you forgot where you met them at, and it's just a piece of paper now. Let's be extremely focused because, look, the political scene is changing. Laws are being taken off the books. People are being fired for no reason at all that look like you and I.
Yeah.
We have to be willing to say, let's look, when somebody go to college and get a degree, 98% chance they got to come and work for a white-owned company.
Right. Right.
When are we going to grow our own companies large enough that you can come back with a college, an undergraduate or a graduate degree and work for a Black company and get paid equivalent to a non-Black owned? These are the things that we have to talk about, Greg, and we have to grow into. By networking, we can advance ourselves to get there. Because in Vegas, look, our dear brother Aaron Ford is running for governor.
Yeah. Absolutely.
We have people making great moves and strides. We have some great elected officials. We have some great business people. Our sports teams, 2 of the 3 sports teams have Black women as presidents.
Yeah.
We're making some great strides in our city. At one point, we just had both of our universities had Black presidents. So we're making some strides. We just have to be more intentional about our network to ensure that the dollars flow in and then we keep it rotating as long as we possibly can. Right now, it's only hitting the beauty, the barber, the hairstylist, and maybe the chicken joint. And after that, it's gone. It's gone. As you know, at Mariposa, we not only have Black employees and staff, we're a Black, management and ownership group, but in addition to that, we use Black vendors such as Marvin from Vegas Heat, a different brother who does our some of our internal systems, and so we have a multitude of Black vendors that we also use because that's the other part of recycling your Black dollar. As a Black business owner, where are you spending your dollars, right? And that's part of it that we're dealing with in the Multiplication Network. Sorry for being so long-winded, but
No, you good. You good. I had several phone calls come in as you were speaking, and people are actually calling in to talk about, right?
Gotcha.
One of the things tonight we want to talk about being intentional. You mentioned that word several times, moving with purpose, as Brady would like to say, tonight, be intentional about it. When you guys come out, one of the worst things I think people do is to leave the card. That business card has to be as valuable as your car key. In fact, if you don't have your car keys, you ain't going nowhere. And if you don't have business cards or some way to leave your information, guess what you're not doing? You're not going anywhere. You're not getting anything done. You're not accomplishing. You're not advancing. The way we're going to do it is we're going to bring our cards, we're going to network, and then we're going to follow through. Because half of the battle is just getting the card. You got to follow through and find out, hey, how can my service be of service? I tell my team, my real estate team, I said, you guys understand, even though I meet people that say, oh, I own a house, they want to give me the car back. I said, no, give it to someone that doesn't own a house, because you've gotten the vision about the importance of home ownership. They have it. So he said, oh, you know what? I do have a cousin, Ray. He been working for about 5 years, man. Let me give it to Ray for me. Give it to Keisha.
Be a resource to somebody else if you don't need it. That's all. But Greg, I gotta say this to you real quick because you made something pop up in my mind. And one of the things that stops people from coming is they don't have the business card. I say to everyone, if you got a phone number, if you got a social media account, You know what? Hey, take their information and say, I don't have a card, but let me give you my number. Here's my email address. You know, do you have an Instagram or Facebook or TikTok? I'll follow you. You follow me.
Right.
Don't miss the opportunity that's in the room. I said this last time, Greg. We often downplay each other too much. They're just a realtor. They're just a hairstylist. They're just a promoter. They're just a handyman. I say, if you begin to understand, if the average, let's say, income is $50,000 for one person, what you can guarantee is that one person knows 4 other people.
There you go.
And if you say that 4 other people plus you equals 5 people, multiply that 50 times 5, and that one person is connected to at a minimum of $250,000 of income.
There you go.
And 5 people, right? Now let's treat them like they're worth $250,000 to you, not $50,000 to you, because apparently $50,000 is not enough for you. So now let's multiply it into 5 people where if you develop that relationship, they'll open up their phone book and say, you know what, let me give you this person. You know what, they need this over here, or my friend over there. And then when somebody come up on Facebook and say, you know, hey, do you know a realtor? Oh yeah, Greg Deville. I met him a few times, and I done seen him at this comedy show, and I saw him over there, and I talked to him at the networking event in Mariposa. Let me tell you, they'll tag Greg Deville in the comments section.
There you go. There you go. Are you being tagged? The question would be, are you being tagged, Miss Business Owner, Mr. Anch? Are you being tagged? And that's true, Dev. Give your phone number and then send them a text. Say, I didn't have a business card, but here I am. This is this is what I do. This is a service I provide, right? So we're not saying if you don't have a card, but I need to value the importance of having somewhere as a trail to find you, you know, even if you're on Google, if you know, IG, like you stated, you know, text your phone number because I got a service I need you to provide. Right? No doubt.
And
no doubt.
And like you said, if you don't have a card today, make sure that you say, you know what, I'm going today and next week, and I'm gonna have my card next week. And to the restaurant owner out there, just because we're a Black-owned restaurant doesn't mean you can't come and bring your menu, bring your QR code, bring some samples from your restaurant, from your bakery, give some samples out for free. We'll allow you to give some samples out for free. You just can't sell it in our restaurant, but you can give it out for free. Right? Bring your card, bring your business card, your flyer, your QR code, whatever it is you have to expose people to your business, to your brand. And one thing that's really important is that people will buy into you before they buy into your business or your brand. We have to, and that's what you're so great about. People are buying into Greg Deville. I was talking to my brother, Rob Chandler over at Yo Nuts, and he was having a conversation with the hotel casino. And they said, look, as much as we like your business, we're willing to open up our hotel casino to your business because of your story, because of who you are. And that's one of the elements that we're missing on social media. Talk to me. Let's be in person and get to know each other. And that's where you're going to get your best promoter, your best ambassador, and your best customer or client.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Being intentional to come out, network. Don't forget, somebody needs your service. They just didn't know where you are. Somebody said, I've been looking. I met that guy that was the inspector. I needed another Black inspector. And I asked Jay, I said, Jay, you know what I'm looking for? Or somebody I was talking to around the room. I said, I'm looking for a Black inspector. I was intentional when I came to the network. I said, I'm looking. And the guy said, man, I met that guy right there. He's a Black inspector. I said, I went beeline right to him. I said, look, man, this is a service I'm looking for. There's some services some of you are looking for. You're going to find them. Guess what? At the network, come be intentional about it. Come on purpose. And if you don't have the card, I want you to know John at AA Printing, and John can do them in one day. John has a one day. He's on Power 88. You hear him all the time. John said, I can get your cards in the same day. All you got to do is have the design done and have it on a high definition. You got good quality pixel, right? With a good quality pixel, he can put it out. He can put it out anything you want. I mean, if you just got a picture, say, look, just put this picture for now until I can get a, high-end picture. But something gets us moving. On your Facebook page, those of you that are doing it through IG, I tell people, you know how people know you're in business, how committed you are to business? I can just go to your page. your page is going to show me how much business you're really doing. Not to see the business you're doing, but how committed you're to your business.
Yeah.
When you go to my page, you ought to see something that I'm doing in my business, like radio, talking about business, talking about real estate, talking about networking, talking about building your business wealth, because I'm all about building wealth. But there's other ways to build wealth other than real estate. My show isn't just real estate.
Right.
When I became a wealth builder, I'm talking about building it through networking. That's why Dev's here today, because he's the guru of networking. Right. We talk about, I got somebody coming up. Last week we talked about the county, the foreclosures, how foreclosures are up. My show last week was about talking about there are almost 200 a month, a little over 200 a month in foreclosures in Nevada that are being filed at the county recorder's office. There are people that are in trouble. So guess what I'm offering is a service to those that are in trouble. Say, look, no upfront cost with Deville Realty. We'll come and bring you hope and give you strength at the end to know we can get it done for you with no upfront costs. I can show you the simplified way to help you get your home and save your equity. The last lady I got, guess what? Came from the county recorder's office. I got her $142,000 when she walked away from her house and paid the house off. She walked to $142,000. And that's because I went to the county and I found out some information. I went knocking on the door. She said, I normally wouldn't open my door. She said, but you look like a friendly guy. How can I help you? I said, I want to help you get out of the trouble that you're in. She says, I said, you're losing your home. And I said, you have a great amount of equity. I can get you between 135 and 160. She said, you can do that? I said, let's talk for a bit and I'll show you how to. At the end of the day, between the 130 and 160, we got a 142.
Wow.
We helped her get a rental. I don't do rentals, but I helped her get a rental because she'd have to move out. But I got her another 2 weeks after we closed the deal. We got her to stay in her house for 2 more weeks so that she can have the relocation funds. So our service is here to help provide a service. And so that's what you do. I want to meet what you do and let us collaborate and build each other and get this ecosystem that Devin speaks about all the time, how we're keeping our money full circle. And then do me a favor, forgive the last black man you had an altercation with because he wasn't so professional. There are many of us who are black professionals. Stop getting mad over somebody who he dropped the ball. Don't say that's why I don't use black people. Well, you make a mistake. You burn somebody's scalp and edge in the kitchen one day, you know, but they came back, give you another chance. You know?
I'm so glad you said that, Greg, because we are overly critical. Look, you can stop doing business with that person, but to then hold a whole group of people accountable for one singular person, for even a few people, it doesn't matter. That's just the nature of living in life, and we all make mistakes. Nobody is perfect. I point the finger at me more than I point at anybody else.
Well, let me ask you this, Dev. How many times have you gone to McDonald's and the ice cream machine was out, but you kept going back until one day it was working? You didn't stop going to McDonald's.
Man, listen. I'm gonna tell you like this. It's so bad that I had a brother tell me he called McDonald's first before we go and make sure the ice machine is working. That's how bad it is. But he's still going to McDonald's to get that ice cream.
Yeah, right. How many times have I gone to the Asian community to buy, and they don't even speak to me when I come in the store?
No.
They don't even smile. And they just take my money. They don't say thank you. They just let you walk out. How many times I'm going to 7-Eleven?
And you know what, Greg? They're never doing a backpack drive. They're never doing any supportive efforts back into our community at all. And we will give without thinking twice, without blinking. We go spend money over there, and it doesn't even matter. But what we hold ourselves to, you got to be perfect over here, right?
You got to dot your T's, dot your I's, and cross your T's. God forbid you didn't speak, because I know when I go in the store and I walk in, okay, nobody greeted me, okay, but if somebody else walks in, you greet him. I'm gonna let you know when I get to the counter. I'm gonna spend this money with you. But I did. That's bad out at the lake. I was in the marina one day and I went in and nobody said anything to me. But the next person walked in was of another persuasion, and they welcomed them into the place of business. So I needed something. I went on, got what I needed, because typically I walk out on you, but I was on the lake. It was, I didn't want to go back to
been there, done that. We sold a boat out there. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah. So, but I did let them know that when I walked in, I didn't acknowledge that you acknowledged me. But when this gentleman walked in, you said welcome, or you said good afternoon. I said, I just want you to know, if you're going to speak, be across the board. Okay, don't pick and choose. Don't get too busy that you counting change, that the black man walk in, you counting change to somebody that you can't say, oh, good day, because the computer's telling you how much the change is. It's not, you got to remember in your head. It's on the computer. Computer said 42 cents. You know, you got $9.42. So you know what you're giving. You can say, welcome in, good afternoon. But you didn't do that to me. And so we want to make sure that we're giving great customer service. And those of you that have failed in that area, tighten up right there. That's all. Don't get out of business. Don't. And like I said, forgive those who've had those areas. Don't cause us to suffer anymore behind somebody else's idiotic behavior, right? Because that's pretty much what that is. They don't value the business. They make a little money, and I don't need your business. No, let me be the first to say, I need your business, and I need your family business, and I need your friends' business. I'm not proud to say I do need your business, and without you, my business really suffers. You know, I'm sure Mariposa would say the same thing. I need you all to come out on Tuesday night tacos and let's karaoke, right? And all the other nights that we do. I need you guys to support because that keeps the doors open. That keeps the AC blowing.
I'm very loud and proud about that, Greg. I don't hesitate. I want and need your business, you know, because a lot of times there's a theory and a belief that I don't want anybody to know that we're black owned or, you know, whether or not you manage black, whatever it is. I'm very loud and proud. I'm here to serve a particular group, and that's my community, because we go many places where they don't want our business. They just want our money. They don't want our business. If we could walk in, drop our money off and leave, they'd be really happy. And so I'm very intentional about programming, about experiences, about community stuff, give back, all that, because it's the heart. It's the understanding that I am no greater than we are. Therefore, I am because we are. And until we really, really focus on the we, forget me. It's the we that's most important. If I could own 10 different places and hire black folks, man, I want to do that.
There you go.
I was never able to grow up and have a paycheck signed by a black man or woman in my life. Never.
Wow.
And for us to be able to do that, granted, we're not signing paychecks, we direct depositing. But they're receiving a paycheck from men that look like them and that care about their well-being.
Right.
And as business owners, that's important, right? We love our team. We, you know, hug them. We check on them and their families. We sit in office and cry with them, no matter what it is, what's going on, because it's bigger than business. It's bigger than money and income. It's about community. It's about family. But we cannot deny that it takes money to do any and everything in this city, in our country, and in this economic system. Therefore, because that's what it takes, we got to be in it, 10 toes down, in whatever way else you want to describe it, but we got to be excellent at it as well. And so part of the multiplication network, we don't just go to network and pass cards. We have committees that are working to empower the black professionals. That's working to empower the black business owner, the black entrepreneur, the black investor through panel discussions, through workshops, through one-on-one coachings, through forums, symposiums, going to conferences. We're figuring out every way possible to help through training programs to help us all get better as business owners so that we can not expect your business, but earn your business. And that's one of the key elements of the Multiplication Network every Wednesday at Mariposa, 4 p.m. to 7 p.m.
And if you miss the 4 p.m., don't just come through. Just if you don't get off at 5, come through. Get us. You know, we got there's some food there. You can get you something cool. Just come through. Just come through. We want to network with you. I want to meet you. I'm the president of the Black Real Estate Professionals Network of Nevada. I love networking with realtors. You know what? Let me say this as we get ready to part. But there's enough for everybody. There's enough. Listen, I'm not intimidated by other realtors. Listen, there's enough. You won't meet the people I meet. And I probably won't meet the people you meet, right? Because we're on different platforms. We're on different sides of town. And frankly, even if you were on my side of town, you know, we don't visit the same places necessarily, right? At the same time. So it's enough for everybody. So please don't say, well, he's a realtor. I don't want to go because I do. Listen, You're going to meet people that's going to like your personality. They're going to cling to you. That may not be my client. Not everybody's my client. Right. So don't be intimidated. I'm not intimidated by any realtors. And I hope that they're not by me. Oh, Greg Deville's in the room. He's a top black realtor. No, I'm not the top black realtor. There's some realtors doing just as much as I am and doing a great job. So I appreciate the accolades that people say that I am what I am about the real estate department. But let me tell you something. I want to be one of the humble brothers that you meet and say, you know what? He will give referrals. He will give you wisdom. I've had people that don't work on my team have issues in their deals and they can't reach their brokers. Guess what I've done? I've helped them close their deals and they're not even on my team. So I'm that kind of broker. I'm the broker you can call. I'm going to answer the phone and you're going to say, Deville, I got a problem, man. I don't know how to. And guess what? We're going to brainstorm. And then you're going to tell your broker, I got it done. You're going, how'd you do it? Oh, I met this broker, Deville. They're going to be like, oh, I know Deville. He's that kind of guy. He will help you close your deal. So not intimidated by it. So let's work together, everybody. Come on out tonight. Mariposa, Sahara, Decatur. Let's come together. Let's network. Bring your cars. Bring your network. And let's be intentional tonight. All right. All right.
If I can share one thing before we go, Greg,
go ahead.
Really quick. 2 books that I have read and I'm reading again. One is, I have it here, it's called Hug Your Customers.
Okay.
It's called Hug Your Customers.
Okay.
It's so profound what this book has taught me about the value of everyone that we're trying to reach. And it's not just customers as in those who go spend money with you. It's people who work with and for you are also your internal customers. Now, the other one is book about MLK. Where do we go from here?
Okay.
A lot of times we lack direction as a community, and it's so crucial that we understand that there was a blueprint right before MLK was murdered. When they just released the MLK files. Okay. And one of the things they from the FBI exposed was that MLK was about to bleed the American economy through his next effort of an agenda. So I want people to also, where do we go? Check that book out as well. Where do we go from here?
Thank you, Dave. I appreciate your time, man. And we ran out of time. Certainly not out of information. Look, Las Vegas, I'll see you later on tonight. If not, it's every Wednesday, 4 to 7, Mariposa, Katina. We'll see you then. And until I talk to you next time, Las Vegas, may God's best be yours. Take care.
More to the table than your hope, dreams, and wishing. I can feed you fish or I can take you out fishing. I can show you the vision, addition and division, mathematic equation. Make the money flip like an acrobatic, amazing. Greg Deville, help you build the foundation. I'm saying, if you want the real, holla at Greg Deville. He'll tell you how to do it. Now get to it.